Alright, welcome back to the channel. If you hear the fan, it's a little warm out and we're got the fan running. To bring you up to speed on my little four-wheeler here, it's a Honda 300 EX, and I have replaced everything back here. I might just make a bracket out of a piece of steel. I might just do that. But either way, I had to get adapters and stuff for these wheels. These are 4 on 115 and it's a 4 on 110 hubs. So they had an adapter online and I got it, and this is working great, but I'm just waiting on some acorn size 10 by 125 and nothing. It's just loosely put together. It's just hand tight and stuff. So, but either way, I just wanted to make sure everything was there before I went any further. So now, since we know it has compression, I'm going to go ahead and I bought a carb kit. I'm going to go ahead and rebuild the carburetor because I know it's probably pretty much trash. Because if you look inside the gas tank, it is bad. So I did price one. They do have a plastic one online for $70. I might get that, but I want to get it running first. I really don't want to put any more money in this at all because I've got right at about $400 in it. And this wasn't expected, but it's still a whole lot cheaper than one. And if it runs as good as it looks, which I'm hoping, hey, it's even got one of those on it. Stick you a little burrito in there. So yeah, I already know I'm gonna have to do some hand control work and blah blah and blah blah and blah blah. But either way, I'll make it all work. So I'll probably have some controls for this. But either way, let's go ahead and take it apart and let's get the carburetor off. My phone is running low battery power, and I got this plugged in, the USB-C port, and I really need power plugged in. So there might be, some music overdubbed or whatever it's called, so I can charge the phone. So let's get this thing going. know if y'all can see it very well, but as you can tell, everything I was taking off. I took the handlebar stuff off because I wanted to get that complete piece off because I want to repair it. It's disconnected on the front piece. So that and get the tank out because I'm going to have to do work on the tank. So either way, you saw how it was binding up. So I had to, this was, the actual main throttle was stuck. And now I got this unstuck right here for the slot valve. I had to pull the screw out right here to get that out, and so now I can take this thing apart, and I want to build this. Is factory. I want to build it. I don't want a replacement carburetor because you never know what you're getting into. So I got to clean off my bench. Well, no, I'm gonna fire the fan up and I'm gonna do it on the floor right here. Take it apart because I'm just that kind of guy. Yep, we're gonna do it right here. Let me put the rest of the parts back that goes with it. And like I said before, this noise in the background is my fan, so I'm going to go ahead and tear this down right here. And I'm just afraid of that slide valve. Since we got it disconnected right there, we got that screw out. That's where this longer screw goes. I'm going to try to pry up on it a little bit. Ah, there we go. It's going up. So I'm going to spray some penetrant around there. I'm going to push it back in. Try to do this back and forth. There we go. And that thing is really smooth. I think the bore is going to be good on that. So that's good. So let me get this in a position where I can put this screw back in. And we're going to kind of feel and see what we got. Again, I'm very sorry if you have a problem hearing me because of the fan, but I do have another fan that is a squirrel cage and it's come out of a microwave, and y'all know how powerful those little monkeys are. I just can't get to it right this minute. It's really hard for me to get to it. There we go. It is operating properly. That's what I wanted to see, is proper operation before I tear it down. All right, that is, makes me feel really good. All right, what about this choky looking thing here? Well, that ain't moving. There we go. Let me get down in there a little bit. I might have just taken that out. I'm not worried about that. I can get it apart. There we go. All right. That smells like Teen Spirit. This is some type of remote adjustment for the idle. So let's take that off. Well, let's go ahead and I'm going to take this right here off first. Oh, Lord. Some sumo wrestlers put this on. Oh, jeez. There we go. There we go. And that is pinned on there. We're going to keep it like that. And this is the fuel inlet. We'll go ahead and take it off. The hose feels really good. Pull this off right here. Never been in one of these. Nor am I scared. Kind of moves. There we go. Beep. All right. Let's get this remote off right here. I'm sure I'll have to fix that. Oh, hey. Jesus. I'm gonna have to get this bowl off first so I can get a good bite on that. So let's try to get this bowl off next. Oh, jeez. Ah, holy smokes. I might not be on the head of the screw. I might be, there's a little shoulder there. That might be what I'm on. Well, guess not. Hmm. Let's try this one up here. These look like they're also flat blade. Let me stick a flat blade on it and see. Holy, it is not. I mean, it's a flat blade. It is not breaking loose. That one did. Oh, jeez. This is redonkulous. I might have to peck on some of these with a chisel. Crazy. I'll be back in a minute. My wife's home. She's been at church most of the day because they're getting ready for the vacation Bible school. So we'll take a break, get my energy back, and I'll get back on this. Well, updates. I had to use the chisel and the hammer to get the other screws loose, and yeah, you know how it is. Anyway, and a Dremel to slot them a little better. Well, let's get this, whatever's going on here, I'll just put it over here real quick before I stick it on the stack over there. And let me, what do we got here? For damage these, let me see about getting this out. There we go. Load assembly. All right, boy, look at the trash down in there. All right, let me get this out. 1/2, one full, 1.5, like about 1 3/4. We'll run with that. There's a spring down in there, and this here, if I can get this out. There we go. All right. Like 3 of these come out maybe. Mm-hmm. And there's another jet down in there. Let me get this spring right here. Get that jet real quick before I go any further. Gonna be too big to put that in there. Try this one. There we go. It goes down in there. I don't think there's anything else right here. Let's work on getting this out. There. And this goes above right there. Looks like that is spring loaded to that because we're going to yank this shaft out. But that is hooked right there. Maybe this will come out. Yeah. Let me get this right and work on it. Oops. One would think that that would separate. There we go. That is just loose on there. All right. That somewhat moves pretty good. The dirt dauber's nuts out there, boy. That looks rough down there. It'll clean up. Pull this out. There we go. So you can see how rough that is in there. But we're going to vat it. Actually, we're going to put it in the sonic cleaner first to get some of this off. And then we'll go from there. Oh, I'm glad I looked because there's a little shim. It looks like it goes right there on that shaft. Let's go ahead and put this in the ultrasonic cleaner. And this right here. And any other parts I can jam in there. Guys, I got updates. 2 of them. Update 1. Trying to find the correct accelerator pump. Chose to be I found it, but it's expensive and it's going to take a while to get it. And for about the same price in 2 days, I got a whole carburetor. I'm against replacing factory stuff because I guarantee you, if I was to build this, it'd run like a new one because that's original equipment. I don't know on this, but it's really nice. And I opened it up and it's really nice and everything's exactly where it's supposed to be. So we're going to give that a whirl. If it don't, guess what it's got? The accelerator pump I need. All right. Now, if I'm sounding kind of muffled, hopefully I am because I got my hand over my mic. This mic, I swear it's going to get its own, post, and this is the reason why I'm doing this. A couple years ago, I bought this, and did a light screen. Right, we'll get back to that. It's been a good one. Second time this past week, my wife had to fish it out of the washing machine. First, she gave me the because I left it on my shirt on my last recording. First, she gave me the phone. This is all I found, baby. And that clip, she gave me the clip. Couldn't find the rest of it. It was hiding in the washing machine, and I got it out. The point being is, see it's green right there? It's recording. I mean, water was dripping out for the second time. So I wish I had the brand name and all that other than Chinesium. PL stands for Local Loco. I got a couple different mics that I use for different things. This one's dedicated to the channel. I just can't believe this thing's lived. So give me a few minutes. And like I said, my wife's out cutting the backyard against my will because I know it takes care of the grass, but she wanted to get out there and cut it. So if I hear squealing and screaming, I got to run her down. So anyway, let's go ahead and get this on and let's see where we're at. And hopefully it runs good. If not, we'll finish building that one out from parts from that one. So give me a few minutes and we'll hop on it. And I'm back. One thing I did not like, I forgot why, because this has been probably a week. I don't remember why I didn't have audio while I did music over or something during the teardown. I think it might have been I remember my phone was going dead and I wanted to keep it charged, and I can't charge through the microphone deal, even though it's supposed to, it doesn't work. So it was either work or not work, and I chose work. Now, y'all heard it spin over, and it's got good compression and all, but I'm going to tell you, that looks awfully rough in there, so hopefully I don't have to go in the engine. I don't know. So when I fill it up with fuel, I'm going to go ahead and use a two-stroke mixture. So let's go ahead and get it on real quick. Oh, another thing is on my throttle here, it's really smooth. I mean, it's nice. That's going to save me money. These look heavy duty and it's got Honda on it, and I like to keep it. So, boom. I have no idea when I get this carburetor on what I got to do with all these up here. Let me show you. When y'all noticed that when I was taking it apart, that, I was just throwing this around like it was a dead animal, but no, it's not. Throttle's good. A lot of the stuff was missing up here, so I don't know what these lights are for. It's got a key switch, so if I don't have spark immediately, I'm just going to jump those two. I have no idea. And this is the whatever whatnots, lights and signals and whatevs, and it's got it looks like a clutch cutout. So I don't know yet I do have a wiring diagram on it. So if I have to go to it, I will. Ooh, little mouse chews, but they didn't chew through the wires. So let me get a charger on this battery while we put that on. Ah, it's so much stuff in here. Crazy. Got more cleaning. Oh man. Oh man, that's not good. Cat's knocked over my very expensive, very old Weller. What is it called? Soldering iron, and it was turned on. So I don't know how long, how many days that's been turned on. Because of stupid cats. Jeez. If y'all hearing the fan over here, that is my most quietest one. I think I might have showed you a picture of it. It's actually a fan out of a microwave, and that squirrel cage just blows a lot of air, and it's way more quiet than Pac-Man, my big squirrel cage, my industrial. And it's 95 degrees outside. So I need a little bit of air. I love heat, and I don't mind sweating. It's just that I can't get nothing done. Sweat's pouring in my eyes right in this area. So, all right. 12 volt, 10 amp. Let's do that. Well, my wife just stopped the mower, so I might be cutting the front yard. And of course, it's saying that battery ain't no count. That's why I don't like electronic battery chargers. Just slap the juice to it, it'll pick up. I'm going to stop it. I'm going to bump it with this. I probably got to go move my go-kart and my hook-a-bike and my spare mower that's holding spare engine, if you know what I mean. And move that so she can cut. I don't like cutting around stuff. I like moving and cutting it. So we're going to go ahead and throw the juice off this battery on this one so it says, oh, it's good, so we'll charge it. I'll be right back because I got to go move some stuff. All right, I forgot to hit record, but I didn't get far. I just stuck my throttle through there and spun it to get it in, and I stuck it in the keyway. Where's my throttle? Wrong throttle. And it works great. All right, let's put the cover back on. It looks good. Goes in that little hole right there. Oh, come on. Still trying to bump my battery. 12 volts. Sometimes you got to bump them like you do a lithium ion, lipos and stuff. Got tools all over the place. Crazy. And I ain't gonna lie, guys. My whole day changed right after lunch. I only got a couple more days of where I'm working, but found out Ozzy Osbourne died today. And as a musician, that hurts. But I grew up listening to Ozzy. My dad, he lived in that acid rock, and man, that's painful. I mean, that's all the music you know. You know, I know a lot of people are in mourning like me. So I didn't care what it cost me because I don't have unlimited minutes on my plan because I'm grandfathering some stupid old stuff. But anyway, I was just my Ozzy collection wasn't big enough that I had access to, so I just was YouTubing it. Just had to hear my man. All right. Oh yeah, we're gonna need some grease on that. Hope I'm wrong, and this is a good carburetor, but it never really ever pans out. No, we want to make it easier to get on and off, right? Right. Jeez. Yeah, rubber intake manifolds out. Because when I opened this up before, the carburetor was off. Y'all noticed that? If I was close enough, and if y'all noticed that when I was taking it apart. So, and it started raining. So my wife's finishing up in the rain. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get to my front yard and side yard. It's raining and all. So let's try this again. There we go. There we go. All right. Straight up and down. Give me a longer Phillips. Before I even think and put fuel in this, I'm going to make sure I got fire first. Fuel goes in right there. All right. And that's kind of hard to get to that choke. But tis what it is. All right. Let's see if that'll take a charge And we're going to check for spark. And I'll cross some wires and lick my fingers and touch wires and see if I can get some spark out of this. I'm gonna pull the plug out too. That might be loads of information right there. No, it's not getting it. I'm gonna need a special plug socket that's thin wall and the right size. It is not coming out. Well, let's just hope it's good for right now. I just really wanted to look in there and look at the cylinder wall. So let me get my tester in here, and we'll try to bump this thing over. See what we got. All right, you Chinese charger here. Let's see if you go into the Zool, it's like Zool mode or something. I don't know what it's called. Turn that off, turn back on, start. It's reading something. It's not going straight to, oh, let me fix it. Because this battery is what we had in the other Katana that Richard drives that thing every weekend to church, rides it every weekend to church. And um, and this was in it for a while, and then he said it's not working. So he said it wasn't working, so he bought a new one. It looks like the voltage is dropping. This is weird. It's showing 2.1 volt. Okay, it's not weird. It's just that it's not like it's not applying. Oh, I never hit the start button. Thought I did, but I didn't. All right. All right, now it's throwing voltage. Just full. Just full. All right. Maybe it isn't that good. It was only bought in it's only 3 years old. So let's just go ahead and use my jump box. Ain't nobody got time for that. I want to make sure it's not touching the ground in front of it. Turn that back on. Let me do a battery check on this one. In the green. All right. Now y'all gonna laugh. I don't know the right way to start it. It is electric start. It does work from right here. If I jump it here, it'll spin. But I don't know what turns the key on yet. You know what I mean? Accessory hot. So I would think this is only 2 wires. So these aren't labeled, and that's headlight. That's something. That's something. Okay. I don't know. Got to work through all these widgets and gadgets. So, guess what we need to make sure it's not warm. So y'all give me a little bit to get this figured out with my, what's this? This is all taped up like it's a headlight. It looks like a headlight deal here. Looks like a headlight. But the picture's shown new and all that. It's got some big plastic cover on it, but that wasn't on it, and these were loose. I tightened them with my hand. These were loose. So something went there. So, I operated clutch when it was on there, and the clutch did move. So, it is in neutral. And from what I gather, this is reverse. Got reverse. Why didn't he put something like that on my go-kart? I know it's got F and R on it, with the stick shift and the separate box. That would have been nice. Anyway, let me get all this figured out. Turn my battery off. I'll be back. Let me get all this figured. Let me get the wiring figured out. Well, I guess it's been a hot minute, probably a month. Put the carburetor on, didn't get any ignition. Oh, welcome back to the channel. I've had a lot going on, which y'all probably hear that a lot from me. And we've been sick like twice, so there goes like 2 weeks. But either way, last we were on this here, we spins over and all. I got a replacement carburetor against my wheel to put on it, and spun it over by hand, and excuse me, just shortened across the starter solenoid, and got compression and all, but we didn't have any fire. But I mean, it is all a complete wreck. I mean, it just is. I took all this stuff off, don't get me wrong, but I didn't unplug anything. There's a lot of, you know, shorten across and blah, 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 blah. I can make a lot of that go away, but first we got to figure out what we're losing. On the diagram here that I downloaded, we're just going to trace power. Apparently the grounds seem to be in order, but we're going to trace power because you know, it goes to I believe it's a neutral switch, and if I'm looking at it right, no, clutch switch, and then it goes to a reverse inhibitor unit. Yeah, that can go away. So we're just gonna, like I said, I haven't tested anything. I just mapped out what I want to do here and where I need to go on that right there. And I'm just gonna whip out a meter or test light and just start going back with it and see where I'm at, or go forward in this case off the switch. I don't even know which one's the switch. I have no clue. That's the two lights in there, and that's apparently for a headlight, and this is beautiful. And a set of wires here that I do believe I did disconnect those, so I'm lying. I did disconnect something, but I don't think those are the wires that the droids we were looking for. So here we are. Let's get busy. I want to hear this thing at least bark off. Yeah, look there, actual steel frame. And I'm gonna bring y'all in and do what I can. Excuse me. The camera, or the mid 50s. I can't remember. The other cell phone, my old cell phone that I used to record, I didn't realize it died, but I had my two backup phones. That's what we're on right now, but I can't hook up my USB mic on this one here. So I'm gonna bring y'all in and try to get a wide angle so we can at least y'all can hear me better. Because the jackwagon down the street a couple of months ago, he bought. Yeah, I do actually believe it's a legitimate race car. But listening to the 4,000 stall that it has in it, and it sounds really good, and so it tells me he didn't build it. So, but he comes through here, you know, calling me out, I guess. I don't know what he's doing. So, anyway, get you on close. I have a jump box on the battery. I have yet to even try to charge that battery. It'll probably hold, but I don't know for certain. So let's go ahead and check, make sure I do have voltage, at least from the battery, so we can at least get started. We're showing 12.73-ish. Well, that's a good starting point. So that being said, So run off here, right over to the ignition switch. Just shows to be a 2-wire, which is one's a red and one is BL, would be black in this case. So I mean, I love these. You know, they just anyway. All right. So what do we have here? We got a red with white, or white with red, and a black, which is the only 2-wire here. And then the run switch has multiple on it, and those are crossed over. I'm sure that was needed for something. But anyway, let's check, see if we got power right here. Maybe this goes to the actual switch. I don't know. So red's supposed to be input, so not getting anything right there. Let me just test a little fusey job. There's only like one fuse on here. Sorry if you see me start kind of nursing my right wing here. If I told you I did something stupid, y'all believe me anyway. So it looks popped. Oh, it's popped. Oh yeah, that baby's popped. But we seem to have a spare on the side here. Sweet. Let's see if I can pop that one. Alright, so to make sure I got fire right there. Fire in my case is we got ignition. Excuse me, if we got battery voltage. If it's hot, fire, whatever you want to call it, we do have it there. And we do have it there. Alright, let me get an alligator so I can get this on ground. But anyway, on the stupid. Well, years ago, watched a movie with a really intelligent guy who said, stupid is, stupid does. So, I guess the reference to me considered him a smart man would probably give you a clue. No. But anyway, you know I'm a drummer. Now, I didn't hurt myself drumming, which is common, especially with me. No. I love my church. I love with everything I got. And I really wanted to play softball. There's your problem. Well, some of y'all might know that, oh, by the way, I found this in the floor. That looks like our ignition switch. That might be what goes right here. Anyway. Well, you know, I got a lot of hardware in my shoulders and other places. And I only went to the batting cage once. Alright, we got power now. Alright, let's short across it. You know, this all just could have been a bad fuse. Hook that up. Make sure the, well, let's not. Let's make a jumper for that. Because I have a key. I have a key to that. Anyway, I'm sure I gotta get that. Anyway, let's back to my wonderful story. Went to the batting cage. I didn't feel comfortable following through my swing 100% because of all the hardware in my shoulders and all the hardware in my hips. So next time we got together, we was at batting practice. So and regular practice. But anyway, I got up there and just once I followed through. It didn't the hit wasn't that good. It was too far in because our wonderful pitcher, every time I kept moving back away from the plate to get a good lick on it, he kept throwing inward. So anyway, thank you, Todd. But love you, man. No, but that I about crippled myself because I fell to the ground almost because of my hip. But I was dumb and kept going. And then you know, pitching the ball back and stuff. And anyway, so that's when the shoulder said no, sirree, Bob. So I have not really slept in the past week because of my shoulder. And it brings back memories of that's how I lived for a long time before I got my shoulders all reworked. So anyway, I was kind of let the old wing heal a little bit before I got out here. Let's just see where we're at. Alright, something like that. I do have hot right there on that black, which kind of coexists with that right there. Now, coming off the switch, that particular switch, put this back together before I lose all this. Yes, it is complete. Well, I'm gonna leave this off because I have a chance. We might just fry that fuse once or twice. So I'm probably gonna have to turn the volume up on this so y'all can hear me, and you'll probably get a lot of background noise. Sorry. Love you, ain't it? So, yeah, back where I was. Walked through it out there too fast. So, I'm still on the team. I'm going to do everything I can to be part of the team, help them on the team, whatever it takes. I just cannot play. I can't, excuse me, I don't mean to say that we can't. I'm just not able to. Because I need this, I don't want to go under the knife again because of, I knew my limitations, but I did it anyway. And I love drumming too much. And this is your feel, your ride, and your hi-hat. So I need this wing working. Because praise comes along before ignorance for me. So anyway, let's see where we're at here. We're coming out of the ignition switch. We got black coming out there on the engines. Don't make sure y'all can see this here. Anyway, here's it. Yeah, got battery going through the fuse, coming up here to the ignition switch. We showed that we're shorted across it, so we did it out on the black wire right there. So the ignition coming off, I'm not worried about the start circuit. I can start it. I mean, I can spin it over. But the ignition hot is going to be this. Even with glasses, I can barely make that out. Is that black with white, BL with white? So we're going to put power on that and spin it over and see what happens. Alright, that looks like black with whitish. Oh, there's a black with white there too. So, yay. So let me trace this wire just to color, see where it plugs in the next stop, just to make sure that the wire looks the same. I know it says black with white tracer, but we just want to make sure. So we do have a multi-plug here, and then it runs over, and this goes directly to the ignition control module. It's got a 4 pin and a 2 pin. We're looking at the 2 pin. This looks probably the rectifier for the and then the controller for the alternator there. This is a big connector, so y'all probably know where all this stuff is. I don't, and I've said it before, I have not worked on this thing before, but it's got wires, it's got nuts and bolts, we can figure it out. There's the ignition coil. I'll follow that back up, excuse me, runs into this over here, runs that direction. There's a famous ignition module down here. So on the 2 plug, let's go ahead and get it off. It's hard rubber here. And I think I stock one though. I don't stock this design. Cool. Anyway, we got, well, that's one difference. Those colors don't line up. We got green, and green on these are synonymous with ground. So bring you up front here. It's down under here, and oh no, wait a minute. No, there's ignition, and this is probably the reverse inhibitor. Yeah, because that looks more like what I'm used to looking at. Let me get a tie wrap removal tool. Just want to get out here where I can work with it. You'll probably think, you know, I want you to spin it over. Nope, I'm not doing that right now. Nope. Okay. Alright, boy, that's a heavy one there. Alright, so let's just see if I am correct. And it is black with a full white tracer, so it is probably that one right there. So I'll need to take this apart and short across it. If it works, it might just work. Let me just see if it does. Nothing there. If I'm hitting the right switch. I heard something pop over there. I don't know. Oh, there's something. Oh, that was apparently hot because it's, or ground it is, because it was popping against that. So let's hope I didn't fry something. I have nothing now. Let me check my fuse. Unless I knock my ground loose. Nope. Got battery voltage. Yeah, we popped the fuse. Yep. Okay. Go get some fuses. Stink bug's trying to square off with me. I don't think he understands the mass differential between me and him. Alright, let's check powers now. Okay, I got power there now. Got power here now. And none here. And that's good. I'm cool with that. I think that lighting deal was what was something reverse feeding through it. Alright, let me see if I got power on this one. Yes, I do. So if that's the case, I should be able to disconnect this. I still got something. It's not as much. Okay. But do I have it here? I do have a bunch of open circuitry right here, so it could. No, we don't. I'm gonna risk it all. I'm gonna plug this back in. Alright. Oh, of course you won't, because I got to short across this one. But if we short across this one now, and since the switch is broke, let's see if I can move it into the run position and see if I get something. Well, not as much, but enough to test. So I'm going to go ahead and put my hot and that over to this. Alright, give it a minute. Start blowing fuses. Not we're hot there. Let's see if I'm hot here. Yes, I am now. So, just to make sure, let me pull power from it. It's going away. Let me breathe it on it. Okay. Really? Come on now. Yes, I had those things I can plug in there. But that means I gotta go get them. I don't feel like it. Okay, a little back probing. Power went away. Okay, so now we're going to take power off. We're going to plug the module back in. Let's see if we blow a fuse. Alright, no fuse is blown. So we do have, let me make sure I do have an active ground on here. And the ground is, ground supply goes through the reverse switch. And that's what feeds into the reverse inhibitor unit. So the ground is the gray. Make sure it doesn't go anywhere else. No. So the gray on here, let me see if I do have an active circuit. So easy way to test that. Reverse polarity here. I'm just going to see if it, I don't care if it shows a negative voltage. Yeah, there we go. It does have voltage from battery hot to the gray ground here. So that tells me that the reverse switch is, it's got continuity. Now whether or not it's supposed to, I don't know. But that's going to kill it. So, well, now let me see if it's an NC or NO on this one here. This, well, it doesn't say if in reverse it's going to be closed, but it's normally open, so it's closed. But this thing is in neutral, so I'm just going to wing that part. We're going to spin it over and check for spark. And I don't know how the spark looks like to fit this, believe it or not, I do not. So let's see, let me get a spark tester. Well, it's not the one I wanted, but maybe it'll work. So we'll use the active ground clamp here. There we go. Yeah, John. I'm not getting any fire, so got good grounds on the coil. And I didn't tell you on the exhaust pipe that it's got a broke stud on the cylinder head here, so I'm going to have to fix that. I don't know if I got to yank the motor to fix that because it's in a really bad spot. But I might better weld to it. It's enough exposed. So, no fire. So it could be an inhibitor inhibiting. So the only inhibitor I can tell inhibition is one wire, other three run. We got power, we got ground, and we got ground, so it says our reverse switch is good. I mean, it's allowing it to crank, and then the other three run over to the pickup. One's the ignition pulse generator, and one is ground, and then the other one is comes off of one of the fields. So that being said, the only one it seems to be, no, that was ignition coil. So what would inhibit this thing to start other than the pickup or a bad unit? So for the coil to work, if that's good, let's follow the coil. We got green, should have green switch there, ground. So the green should be ground, one side should be grounded so it pulses hot. So we make sure we do have a good ground going to it. Grounds seem to be solid. Yeah, we got a good solid ground. So if that's the case, I don't have an O-scope to check the ignition output. All I can check is the resistance across the coil to see if it's good. So let me go ahead and test that real quick. Let's see if we can get across the coil. I do have a spare coil. Well, a known good coil that I use for testing. So let's check the ohmage across it. Oh, that's not good. I want something that's going to give me actual resistance. That's 0.2, 0.3. And this is showing 500 ohms there. Let's test it across here. 1.3 mag and 1.4 mag. That's a little high if you ask me. Let me get my spare coil. It'd be nice to be something simple. This goes on my go-kart. I replaced it because I wanted a new coil arm. It wasn't bad. So we can use this as just get an idea of what we're actually looking at. $650-ish, and then $8 kilo. Yeah, they'll be within the. You can test on both. One should be whatever the internal resistance is here. It'll be just that much higher. So yeah, so no, but we're gonna wing it. Yeah, I got fire there. A little weak, but I do have fire now. I think I checked the oil on this, but I'm going to check it again. It's got some nice looking oil in it. Carb clean. Shoot a little down here. Alright, you're like, why don't you use a fuel mixture? I don't feel like looking for it right now. Well, my throttle's not open, so see if I can clean this throttle open a little bit. Should work fine. It did work. I hooked it up, yeah. Try this again. This choke's a little hard to get to. that plug out because I need to do a compression test on it. Just might be a little hungry. I need eight arms and 17 hands It tried to hit on. I did hear that, but I really need, we'll turn the ignition off. I really need to get that plug out. Let me see if I can get this plug out. Well, I ended up turning it down on the lathe. Boom. And we got the plug out. Plug looks good. And I was just spinning it over and that thing just lit me up. So I know the coil's good now. It worked on the go-kart. See what I'm getting. It's the old Chinesium here, but it had the fittings I needed to fit the really small ones, and the other one back there is even smaller. Take the ignition off. And where's my battery on? It ain't got a whole bunch of compression. So it probably had an intake valve or exhaust valve stuck open, especially with this right here. So I'm probably gonna have to yank the head and work the head. Well, in this case, yeah, work the head. So electronics work. That's good. So we'll have to come back to this. I'm gonna go ahead and just cut this video right here because the other one's gonna be the engine work on this. So let me. I'm just gonna button this thing up real quick because it's starting to rain. So God bless. God bless Charlie Kirk's family. So God bless. Thank you for watching.